Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Forecast. I'm StormTracker8 forecaster Tyler Hull here. I hope you're staying dry out there on this kind of showery Thursday. And today I'm joined by our chief meteorologist, Matt DiNardo. Matt, how are you doing today?
Doing good, yeah. Have the umbrellas today. You're going to need them if you're heading out even this evening and tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting right into it here, we do have some weather history to talk about. This is 2012. We did have a snow event here, Matt. 3 to 5 inches of snow fell between, looks like the Farmville area over to Metro Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good significant snow, coming in the middle of February. And of course, many people, of course, thinking that maybe we have one more shot maybe this weekend, but we'll dispel that coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure we're starting to get a lot of questions on that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So getting into it here, it's pretty busy across the country, not just here in Virginia with the rounds of showers we're going to be seeing through the weekend. But we do have a few other big weather stories happening through tonight that we'll get into.
Yeah, for sure. And, of course, the Winter Olympics, a couple of days from wrapping up, and, we're anxiously waiting to see how many more medals we can hopefully obtain, the United States, of course, being that, yeah.
Right, absolutely. Okay, getting into the overall satellite and radar imagery of things over the last several hours here. So we're dealing with an ongoing weather system here, Matt, and it stretches all the way back to the middle of the country. Meanwhile, while this is ongoing, we have another big system that is hitting California through tonight.
Right, and that system that's hitting California is the one that is slowly going to make its way to us by the time we get into Saturday and Sunday, and we'll talk about the effects on that. But that system in California is round 3, I think, of just tremendous rainfall along the coast, snowfall in the mountains. And, this morning as I was watching Good Morning America, and they were talking about the missing people now believed dead from the avalanche in the Sierras. That area with that system getting a ton more snow. I mean, just, a heart goes out to those folks for sure.
Yeah, I feel like, California can't catch a break, unfortunately, when it comes to weather. Weather disasters,
right.
Just weather in general.
It's either fires or they get tremendous rain that because of the fires we don't have the vegetation to grab it. And then we end with the mudslides and landslides. So it really is it's tough for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And now the avalanches this week. So yeah, tough going for those folks. One of the other big stories kind of ongoing, and I was looking at this not too long ago, but parts of Oklahoma and Texas are under a severe and extreme drought here, Matt. That coupled with just really dry air and gusty conditions this week, leading to rapid fire potential here.
Yeah, and I just want to stop here for a quick second because there was a lot of questions yesterday about why was the rain dirty, and the reason is because of this. We had those strong southwest winds ahead of the system that came through last night that filtered or brought dust and dirt high into the clouds where our rain collects, and our rain grabbed onto that dust and dirt, and when it slid over us and fell as rain, that's why the rain was dirty. But it all stems from what was going on in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and that area. And you just mentioned it, super dry, drought going on. That dust is really fine. It just gets up into the clouds.
Yeah, that is pretty fascinating stuff. Yep. That's something from, well over 1,000 miles away to where west and southwest can be affecting us. That's pretty incredible.
It really is, right? And so you think about it, this isn't like the first time this has happened. I mean, if you think about, just go back a couple of years when we had the wildfires in Canada, right? The northwest winds brought that smoke and ash. And I mean, I remember vividly seeing those pictures of New York City where it looked like the middle of night because it was so thick. And then over us, we had that consistent haze. So once you get stuff in the sky, it is tough to get it out. It takes a while for it to precipitate out.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It really is incredible. So while that's ongoing, as we talked about just a couple of minutes ago, unfortunately, our friends in California in particular, again, being hit with another strong weather system through tonight, and they could be in for more feet of additional snow on top of what they have gotten the last few days this week.
It's incredible. By the time it's all said and done, there'll be places in the Sierra Nevada that will finish out with 6 to 8 feet of snow. Now, that's going to be the higher peaks, don't get me wrong.
Sure,
but
sure.
You do have, so Interstate 80 runs out of Reno all the way out to San Francisco. It's a major pass, the Donner Pass, I believe it is, and that usually gets locked down, and you need chains to get through it. I'm sure that's the case, or they just shut it down completely and wait for plows to be able to come through, which won't be for another day or two with snow like this.
Right. Obviously, the good news with this is obviously the ski resorts are loving this.
Sure.
And it does help with obviously the snowpack when it comes to the fire season later on, right? But the not so good news is obviously the avalanches that we were talking about, and unfortunately people going missing.
Yeah, no, that's the devastating part of it for sure. Right.
And another weather story ongoing. So you got the fires in Oklahoma, Texas. You have the really strong system in California bringing feet of snow. But you also have this severe weather in parts of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio. There is a enhanced or level 3 risk of strong to severe storms through tonight.
This is incredible, right? I mean, here we are sitting roughly middle of February, February 19th, and you're thinking like Chicago, Indianapolis, Cincinnati should be talking about blizzards or big snowstorms, not the potential for tornadic weather, which is what they're facing today. And it's that same system, the warm front that's over us right now bringing us the rain. The cold front is to the west of St. Louis.
Right.
You have a lot of shear going on. And how about that 8% risk of seeing tornadoes? That's what, Tyler, 1 in 10 storms today that form have the potential to produce tornadoes. That's incredible for this time of year.
Yeah, incredible for this time of year, and also incredible for this part of the country, as you said. This usually this time of year is more so the lower Mississippi River Valley, the southeast, not so much the Ohio Valley and parts of the Midwest.
Yeah, this is May, June, usually this area. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. So we take things forward here.
And by the way, there's the system right there. You can see the warm front and that cold front right in the center of the screen. That's the area that we're talking about between St. Louis to Chicago. That was the area we just highlighted. Go ahead, Tyler. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, that ongoing system obviously contributing to that severe potential in the Ohio Valley, but also over us, bringing these scattered showers through tonight. And as we were talking about earlier, that strong weather system that is bringing feet of snow in the mountains of California and a lot of rain to the valleys as well. That is another story in itself. The rains in the valley part of California.
Right.
And looking ahead here for Friday, that system that's impacting California pushes into the Rockies. We have our ongoing system here. But based on what I was seeing earlier, Matt, the second half of Friday actually looks pretty good over us. We get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I think the shower is probably exiting around noon, right, with that cold front. And by the way, when that cold front comes through us, we are not expecting any severe weather. Let's put that out there, right?
Yeah.
So our weather will be a lot more tranquil. But, yeah, there might be some sunshine in the afternoon Friday, maybe clearing some skies out for Friday evening. So if you have dinner plans, you're going to be fine. But then things are going to change because that system, as you mentioned, coming out of California to Denver now continues to push its way eastward.
Yeah, into the Rockies, and that same system continues to push eastward. This is Saturday. It's going to be impacting parts of the Southeast and the Carolinas. I know we have another chance for rain here on Saturday. Basically a pretty active pattern here, Matt, for us through Sunday.
It's insane, Tyler. I mean, you think about it, right? We had one system pass through last night. We're dealing with one today, part one of the second system.
Sure.
Part two of that second system comes through tomorrow with the cold front. Then we have this system for Saturday. Now we're well north of that system, so it's maybe some spotty showers. It's not super wet. But then there's another part that develops for Sunday. I mean, it's just like, wow. It's like, I called it last night, it's a parade of systems just moving across the country, and we're getting hit time and time again.
Yeah, from west to east. Obviously, it starts on the West Coast, and then it ends on the East Coast. And looking more at the weekend here, Matt, again, we're going to be dealing with some showers during the day on Saturday, it looks like. But I would say Saturday of the 2 weekend days is, quote-unquote, drier as of right now.
Right, and so the funny thing, cause you say that, and of course, our viewers are watching this, just seeing all this green. Then we say, just wait, because Sunday says, hold my beer, we'll show you some green.
Right, absolutely. Looking at Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, this is just one computer weather model, right? And rain activity is really going to be picking up in a big way on Sunday. This looks like potentially our second straight rainy Sunday across the area. We had a really wet day this past Sunday. A lot of areas picked up over an inch. This is the latest run of this model. Matt and I were looking at this minutes before this podcast show started, and it's depicting the potential of moderate to heavy rain on a Sunday afternoon, Matt.
Yeah, and make no mistake about it. We're not talking like 60s or 50s like we're at today, right? And yesterday, we're talking maybe 42, 43. So it's going to be a cold rain. This is, I like to call it crock pot and soup weather. Now, this is the interesting thing there, and we kind of threw it there. There will be some cold air mixing down. The problem is our ground is going to be wet.
Right.
And temperatures, even though they're falling, we're still going to have some mid-layer warm levels. So even though you saw some blue there, it might be somewhat of a rain-snow mix late Sunday night, early Monday, but probably not much in the way of accumulations, if any at all.
Right.
So I don't want people to get all excited because I know, and you and I were talking about this off the air as well, there are people looking at the GFS, which has been god-awful this winter. It missed the two storms in December. It put in, we ended up with like 2 and 3 inches on both of them, right? It wasn't really a big deal, but it was putting out 1 foot to 1.5 feet for some of those storms. It missed that. The sleet, rain, snow storm we had in mid-January, it still, even 24 hours before, even 12 hours before, had over 1 foot of snow for us in Richmond. Didn't hit that at all. And then in the one that appeared a week later, which where the Arctic air came in and suppressed the storm, it still had 6 to 8 inches for us. So the GFS has been god-awful. If you're seeing the GFS out there and enormous amounts of snow, just
don't listen to it.
You hit the 3 buttons and you say, this is spam, and block the page because it's bad information, folks.
Yeah, that is what we've been contending with this winter. You got to look at the European and other computer weather models.
Look at the icon. Look at the European. Even the I did a thing last night. Even the GDPS, the Canadian model, which is is biased to snow. Even that was 98% rain.
Interesting.
You tell me how bad the GFS has been.
Right. And speaking of rain, this is through Monday morning. So this is the ongoing system right now and the system this weekend. Could be looking at about a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches more on top of what we've seen earlier this week, Matt.
Right. And I mean, that's, again, I knew the new drought report came out this morning.
Yeah, no new changes.
No change.
Yeah.
Even with the snow melt and the rain we had last Sunday, it was over 1 inch.
Right.
It's, and so hopefully slowly this will continue to help, right? So,
absolutely.
And I know people are saying, wait, how could it be in a drought? Because I have mud in my house from my dog going outside. I have the same thing, right?
Right.
It has to really do with areas west of 95. Their 365 year to date is between 15 to 25 inches down from where they should be, which is really bad.
Right. Yeah, so areas such as Charlottesville, Lynchburg, Farmville, out that area.
Yeah, the whole Piedmont
dealing with
and
a
Shenandoah
huge
Valley is
deficit. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so moving on to the Olympics here. So again, we have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday remaining. And obviously this has been, a lot of fun to watch. Many, different sports that have been ongoing. I've been learning a lot myself the last several days about each of these sports. It's definitely been really exciting to watch these games, Matt.
And if you saw some of the stuff in Lavino early this morning, because Madison and I talked about this yesterday, and I think you guys did back on Monday as well, there is a really big snowstorm happening right now in the Italian Alps and the Swiss Alps, right? And some places are getting more than 1 foot. So it was snowing like crazy out there. And so I think some of the afternoon or tomorrow morning sports might be delayed because just getting to it, venue safety, right? But women's ice hockey, the bronze medal game was played earlier today. Sorry if you're not knowing this, but Switzerland won. It was an unbelievable game against Sweden. And then as of this recording right now, we are in the first period of USA-Canada for the gold/silver medal.
Yeah.
All I have to say is USA.
Yeah.
USA. I mean, and then last night's games. Men's hockey, Canada against Czechia, overtime, and then, of course, Americans against, I believe it was Finland, and that was also over incredible games. So
wow,
this is only getting more and more fun. I love the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of medals, we'll see if we're able to add to these totals. But again, these will hopefully be added in the next few days. But we're talking about 7 golds, 12 silver, and 6 bronze for the USA so far.
It's been a pretty good set of games for us, I believe. Usually we're much better in summer than we are in winter, but we've had some pretty good stuff. But some of the sports that we used to really, quote unquote, dominate in, and I don't want to use that, but we were kind of head and tails above everybody else, was like the freestyle skiing and the snowboard, right? Because those were all X Games things that have been adapted into. Now you're seeing teams like Japan and China that have really taken off in the sport. So it's kind of making things a little bit more interesting because it's not just, the USA is going to win this. There's Shaun White. Now, Shaun White's retired, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
It's pretty cool. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of the leaderboard, Norway, pretty strong lead here, Matt, over Italy, U.S., France, and Netherlands.
I mean, Norway, biathlon,
no surprise.
Speed skating. They're just killing it. But you know what? It's still pretty good overall. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so looking at their futurecast, as you were saying, they're dealing with an ongoing weather system bringing quite a bit of snow in the Alps.
Yeah, and the good news is by tomorrow morning, you see there Friday, 8 o'clock, it's moving on out. They get sunshine by tomorrow afternoon, and then Saturday looks good. So if anything's delayed, they'll be fine. And then after that, closing ceremonies are Sunday.
Yeah, a few days away. And speaking of closing, obviously we close every show with the 8-day forecast. So again, rainy day today, some showers in the morning. Second half of tomorrow actually looks pretty decent. Most of Saturday, again, looks drier versus Sunday. Sunday looks like another wet day.
Yeah, it really does. If you're, like I said, crock pot, soup weather, go for it, chill on the couch and watch, hopefully what will be USA men, Canadian men, hockey, Sunday morning before the closing ceremonies. Fingers crossed because these games are tight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens the next few days. And a little bit cool early next week and then another system. But basically the ongoing system today through tomorrow, another one this weekend, and another one middle of next week. Things are a bit busy right now, Matt, to say the least.
They really are. I think we could all say, you know what, can we just slow it down just a bit and maybe get a couple of maybe 6, 7, 8 days of sunshine and some 50s and 60s? That just does not look like being the cards right now.
Yeah, no, not right now with this active pattern. But, of course, Matt will have your updated look at the 8-day forecast coming up later this afternoon.
There you go.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of Beyond the Forecast.